Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 5D Gramma, where we are breaking the matrix tonight with Jamie DiChiera. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Grandma. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone. It's good to see you tonight. I thought that our live stream started and that the other intro was playing. So anyways, I kind of have a different setup today. Just changed it up a little bit. So I hope I don't mess it up, you guys. Anyways, thanks so much for being here, you guys.
You're not going to mess it up. It's going to be awesome.
Thanks. There's so much going on with these balloons going over 5 continents. And it's I think that, there's a lot going on. And they're saying that, it's the Chinese, and then they're saying it's not. I don't know, but I want to talk about what these balloons are, and the fact that there is no satellites, that they're helium balloons. So it's kind of like what's happening currently, and a reveal of the lies that NASA has told us.
The Satelloons. I love when you told me that. Satelloons. I was like,
Satelloons. Yes, totally. So anyways, I want to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and start with this Conspiracy Guru song that's just awesome about satellites.
Hoax. Let's do this. It's a really hard pill to take when somebody says that satellites could be fake. But don't you find it a little suspicious that you can't find any real satellite pictures? It might be hard to be believed, but maybe we're all being deceived. Yeah, maybe. Listen up. Well, if you think you see one up in the sky, you can't see it with the naked eye, because a satellite is about the size of a car, at least 300 miles away. You can't see that far, whatever those dots are to move in the night. I'm telling you that ain't no satellite. Welcome to the satellite folks. Just another one of them NASA jokes. You get 5E, a picture of a satellite, but now bring it up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place. When I search satellites in space, yeah, type that phrase into Google, folks. Let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. Now before all of y'all start getting pissed, I ain't saying that satellites don't exist. I'm saying that it's theoretically absurd to think these devices orbit the Earth, cause I've seen them hanging from big balloons. Even Google's doing it too now, man. Have you seen that? Yeah, go check out Project Moon. And every now and then a satellite crashes, but that information never gets to the masses, cause then you'll find out how these things really work. They're just on balloons, man. They don't orbit the Earth. Cause once upon a time, one crashed in Brazil with the balloon attached to it still. Welcome to the satellite folks. Just another one of them NASA jokes. You get 5E, a picture of a satellite, but now bring it up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place. When I search satellites in space, yeah, type that phrase into Google, folks. Let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. Yeah, check it out, man. How could satellites be in the thermosphere when the temperature up there is way too severe? How can that type of equipment survive? How comes those satellites aren't burned alive? I'm telling you, man, it's just a pack of lies. There ain't no orbiting satellites because 99% of our communication comes from undersea cables and cell tower stations. A GPS is ground-based too, man. Go check out a system called LORAN. It's a military system for navigation that uses ground towers to track your location. Are you seeing it yet? Welcome to the satellite hoax. Just another one of them NASA jokes. You get by me a picture of a satellite, but now bringing up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place. When I search satellites in space. Yeah, type that phrase into Google, folks. Let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. You see, Tesla figured out how to communicate without the need for satellites in space. It's mostly ground-based towers, you see, and that's how you get your satellite TV. They've monetized what Tesla made for free with their fake satellite industry. It was Arthur C. Clarke that theorized these things, the sci-fi boxes with solar wings. Another Freemason, it's no surprise. They make science fiction and they monetize. They've stolen Tesla's technology and they get you to pay for your TV. Are you seeing it now, people? Welcome to the satellite hoax. Just another one of them NASA jokes. You can't find me a picture of a satellite without bringing up a bunch of that CGI. Just a bunch of cartoons all over the place. When I search satellites in space. Yeah, go type it into Google right now. And let me welcome you to the satellite hoax. So next time you see a photo of the Earth from space, look for satellites. You won't find a trace. Wow, they must have disappeared, I guess. Can't even see any from the ISS. If you want to have yourself a little enjoyment, go watch a NASA satellite deployment. Oh, man. Let me welcome you to the satellite hoax.
Wasn't that awesome?
He's hilarious. Who is that guy?
That's Conspiracy Guru.
Okay.
And I don't know who he is. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll find out. But I love his stuff. He is on YouTube. He is Conspiracy Guru on YouTube, you guys. And great. He has a whole bunch of videos about NASA and all kinds of, conspiracies, truths, all kinds of
conspiracy truths.
All kinds of
No, it's true though. I mean, so they say the inventor of the satellite was Arthur Clarke, which we know did 2001 Space Odyssey.
Right.
And then when you dig into him, you don't even have to dig. When you Google, even on like Google, it does bring up that he was a Satanist and a Freemason. So when we know everything that we know, and then the guy who invented the satellite is involved,
right,
in all of these things, for me, it's like,
right. I have watched. So they use ground cables. So our communications are mostly through ground cables, and they're not new ground cables. They're like from the late 1800s, and it's just nuts. They lie about these satellites, you guys. And you know, my dad says that I need to be serious sometimes, and this is a very serious time because these are these balloons are weapons. And I have a little clip I'll share a little bit later, but yeah, they're EMP weapons, and they're over 5 continents right now. So But I want to play a little clip about this Project Loon, this Thunderhead balloon systems. Okay. Do you have anything you want to say about this one? This is that one that talks about that they are the balloons. And anyways, let's play it, sis.
Play it.
Thunderhead balloon systems are stratospheric platforms that can be rapidly deployed to areas of interest from a wide variety of locations. Utilizing Raven Aerostar's mission planning tools, a flight path is determined to optimize point-to-point navigation. Navigation is achieved by leveraging directional wind patterns in the stratosphere at altitude 65,000 feet and above. After arriving at an area of interest, Thunderhead balloon systems offer network persistence for up to months at a time. Filling a significant capability gap, Thunderhead balloon systems allow for rapid integration of diverse payloads and sensors, serving a wide range of missions. A military outpost stands with a mission to provide intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance over denied airspace. Raven Aerostar's Thunderhead balloon systems provide a cost-effective and low-risk platform for ISR capabilities at altitudes above traditional air threats. The local commander deploys several Thunderhead balloon systems from the At Ready constellation, carrying sophisticated ISR sensors to the denied airspace. With navigational and duration capabilities of up to months at a time, the Thunderhead balloon systems provide a powerful, persistent surveillance platform. At stratospheric altitudes, these lighter-than-air platforms can navigate and hover over areas of interest at altitudes unattainable by traditional ISR platforms. Upon receiving information regarding a possible threat, intelligence analysts navigate a Thunderhead balloon system over the area of interest to collect more information. The sensor payload carried by the Thunderhead balloon system quickly detects and classifies the threat. Utilizing real-time communications, the threat parameters are relayed back to the intelligence analyst on the ground. With Thunderstorm, Raven Aerostar's common operating system, balloon performance and sensor intelligence is integrated into existing networks and computer systems for mission coverage.
So, you know that NASA is the largest consumer of helium.
Yes, in the whole entire world, which makes sense.
Right. And so they've been spending all this millions of dollars per day on NASA doing what? Nefarious things underground.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're learning more and more about what's going on. Tie it back into everything that's going on, human trafficking. Everything that we're finding out is that none of what we're told is happening above. Everything is happening below.
Right.
So having all of the cables, all of the TV, satellite, radio, all of that stuff, they have ground towers for that. So what is the need for a satellite in the air to be able to do that when we have things that are on the ground, as well as what you said, under the ground, to be able to do that for us?
Right.
We don't need it for that. GPS, they don't use GPS for that.
No, ground positioning systems. So I'm going to play this little clip about the cables.
We never stop hearing about how the internet's in the cloud, but really, it's in the ocean. About 300 undersea fiber optic cables are responsible for 99% of international data traffic. It's basically the same way we connect to each other in a single country, except underwater instead of underground. They transmit PewDiePie from Europe to America, and they connect stock traders in New York and London. And these cables, placed by private companies, are the backbone of the internet. But if you held one in your hand, it'd be no bigger than a soda can. There are just a few layers of protection from the water, including petroleum jelly. Yes, your internet is covered in Vaseline. They're vulnerable to earthquakes. At least a few times, confused sharks have bitten them. But many cables are beneath sea life because in some places they go as deep underwater as Mount Everest is high. Ships lower a plow that digs a tiny groove in the ocean floor, lay in the cable, and it's naturally buried by sand thanks to the ocean's current. In that process, it's both stunningly simple and mind-blowingly complex, is responsible for making the internet a truly global network. It's an idea that's audacious and crazy, and you think it has to be cutting edge, and it is. But it's also been going on for 157 years. Electric telegraphs have been around for a long, long time. Experiments in the early 1800s connected two ends of a garden using a clock that revealed letters. Then they moved on to two neighborhoods to help signal trains, and then multiple cities thanks to a network of railroad lines. Underwater submarine cables were an obvious next step, so they played around. Instead of petroleum jelly, the first ones were coated with exotic tree sap to protect them from the water. And though the undersea cables came in spurts, one of the first ones was knocked out of commission by a fishing boat. By 1858, they reached around the Atlantic and across the world. And that's how it's kind of gone since, laying cables that circle the Earth's oceans. The cables are unwound from the back of a ship, sink to the ocean floor, and the world is connected in speeds measured in milliseconds. There are ideas to bring the internet above sea level. Along with cell phone towers, there's internet beamed from Facebook satellites to Africa and balloons lifted by Google. But for speedy international travel, undersea cables are still where companies like Facebook and Google place their bets. That's because the best way to create the cloud is still by going under the sea.
So, they talk about all these worlds out in space. Like, I wonder if they really have above, so below. They have all these fake worlds down there. Hey.
You hear the dog? They're literally going crazy right now. I'm sorry, there must be a neighbor that got home. Sorry, guys.
I was like looking around. It took me a minute to figure out what it was. It was like
Slater and Bambi are going nuts at the front door.
It was like, that's hilarious. Okay.
But why do you think that they call it the cloud, which obviously when you think cloud, you think of up above you, when in fact it is beneath us? Do you think that's another distraction, or what do you think about that?
I don't know. It gets kind of mind-blowing about the lies, about really the deception on, just about everything.
Yeah. No, that's completely true. That's all they do is lie to us. So literally I hear things now and I'm like, okay, what did they say about that? I'm going to think the opposite almost always.
Right.
And I feel like I'm doing pretty good with those odds, taking the opposite of whatever it is that they're selling. I just take the opposite and I feel pretty good about it.
It literally is, everything is the opposite. So I guess we should it should start making sense that, they've lied about everything. I'm fascinated about these lands beyond. I watched the best little documentary about Admiral Byrd and what really was going on down there. And it's fascinating. I don't really know enough about it to talk about it intelligently, but it's fascinating. And so
it is fascinating. Yeah. It's very fascinating. And I'll tell you another thing for me when I hear something like this. In the 50s, they signed the Antarctic Treaty, where no country can claim it and no one is allowed to go down there to view it. There's two countries where you can take a scenic tour of Antarctica, but they literally just take you on the plane or a boat. I forgot what it is. And it's literally where the one part where it juts out, and every other part of Antarctica, which we know is the ice wall that circled. And this is the one part that juts out from it.
Huh.
Yep. And that's where they allow you to go for the scenic view. So why are you not allowed to go? You know what I'm saying? And then coming back to the balloons we're talking about, They literally do most of them from Antarctica. Most of the balloons that go up is from
Yes.
Antarctica.
Now I have yes. I think this is in this clip. Is that in this clip? There was one, anyways. Yes, about Antarctica. They do it in Antarctica, away from us.
Yeah. They go to, I think it's McMurdo Station is the name of the base down there. And that's where most of them come up from because no one's allowed to go there. No one's allowed to see it. So I find it very convenient again that that's where they choose to do it from, where there are no eyes
And
no one can see.
there are people on True Social that Google stuff and are like, you can take a tour of Antarctica. What are you talking about? Okay, no, you can't. Antarctica is literally a made up place, kind of. It's they have other islands down there with names, with their names and stuff. It's unbelievable. They have
No,
you
it's
know,
definitely crazy. Well, no, you can take a tour, but like I said, you get on a plane or you get on a boat and you like go up to one portion where the ice wall juts out and that's all you can see. It's not like they do a tour like a
right,
bioluminescent day in like Puerto Rico where you like are there and you're in a kayak looking around. No, they
right.
literally just say, "Oh yeah, there it is," and then you go back.
And see what this right, and people really believe that you can tour it, but what this is this goes clear back to World War II, where the Nazis actually won and they went to Antarctica. They went to, I believe, and have their own, it was like New Schwabenland or New Schwabia.
Mm-hmm.
They literally went and have another like breakaway civilization there. And it gets mind blowing. And I think we're getting to the end of that part, right? Like we're finding this out. We're learning the truth. And that video I watched was about this, about, what happened with Admiral Byrd and the Nazis. And he was privately funded. He was a Freemason and he was privately funded. Did you know that?
I did know that, and I find it so fascinating that what we know about the Illuminati and the Freemasons and how, they're part of the people who are lying to us, and then to find out that Admiral Byrd was a Freemason, right?
Right.
But yet he was sharing with us and telling us all of this information. So what the heck happened there? Did he start sharing it and then they offed him like they do everybody, or? Because he died not too long after that.
He was in like mental hospital, I believe. Admiral Byrd was.
Yeah, look at Britney Spears. Look at these people. That's what I'm saying.
Right, Britney Spears is looking crazy, you guys. Did you see those 2 new videos she put out? Oh my word, she looks like, well, I don't know. She looks weird. Anyways, I want to go ahead and keep going on these satellites. So, but that was an awesome little part, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to get more into them, and I kind of want to have watch parties for these little documentaries. I find that are like mind blowing.
Yes, I'm down.
Hey, Ivy Fly. Hello, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Shout out to Ivy Fly. Okay. I'm going to play this.
Forget it, Bart. It's so bright out you can't see anything in the sky except the Fox satellite.
No, Lise. Plans came crashing to the ground. The failed launch of a balloon carrying a multi-million-dollar space telescope had onlookers scrambling for safety.
Never know what's going to happen. This baby fell out of the sky and landed in our yard. It's never boring on the Welke farm. Thank God there's no horses out or it didn't hit the house. And it's still going and flashing.
Oh, shoot. That wasn't the one I thought it was. Sorry. But yeah, this is kind of like total exposure, and now that they're bringing these out right now, I think this is the one I wanted to play right here.
It's all animation and games until one comes crashing down on your squad. Many crashed satellites have been reported the world over, and the one thing they all have in common is giant helium balloons attached to them. Of course, satellite technology is real. We get our weather information, communication equipment, and even some internet service from them. Look up Google Loon, for example. It's not that they wouldn't use the magical floating satellites if they could, it's that they don't physically exist, nor does the globe. They have been sending these up one at a time since it all began. I will allow them to explain it.
And he got a patent on that in 1950. And those early balloons were so large, they didn't have any way to launch them, except they actually launched them from aircraft carriers.
Modern scientific ballooning was born. It was also the genesis for NASA's newly developed super pressure balloon.
The reason for super pressure ballooning is they have absolutely stable altitude, day, night, and it doesn't matter how cold the atmosphere is. They are sealed.
So your shape is always the same, you always displace the same amount of air, and therefore you have the same amount of buoyancy all the time.
This day-to-night altitude stability allows super pressure balloons and the sun.
Hi, I'm Matt, and this is NASA Now.
NASA's been using balloons for science research for over 30 years. The exploration that can be done on balloons is continuing to grow. Standard balloon that I fly is about 660 feet long when it's made. So when it's inflated, it's over 400 feet tall by 440 feet wide. Think of a dome stadium. That's how big my balloons are.
So let me get this straight. It is now public knowledge that they send up satellites on massive helium-filled balloons. As you should know, NASA is the largest consumer of helium in the world, for obvious reasons. But the issue with society is that they never critically think. Just think for a second here. If these are sent up to provide the world with all of the important information we need, and I'm sure the entire process is expensive and difficult to accomplish, then please explain to me what in the flat world do these pathetic animations do for you? Do they make you happy inside? Are they so super duper cool that you cannot see past the obvious CGI? The fact of the matter is everything NASA sends up on a balloon simply hovers above our motionless Earth. That is why they rarely speak about orbiting satellites, and of course, they never show footage. Here is some footage of a random evening with a man, the moon, and his Nikon P900. Notice anything floating up there?
Forget it, Bart. It's so bright out you can't see anything in the sky except the Fox satellite.
Another remarkable fact about NASA's balloon launches is that many are launched from Antarctica. Is it because we cannot travel past certain parallels to witness their launches with our own eyes? What else are they hiding from us over there? It would be nice if someone was allowed to truly explore Antarctica again. It sure has been a while since the last guy.
Greetings to you, my young friend.
Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. Strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored. But more important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime. Because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources.
So I've been hiding, and there is a video of in this video I watched, I'll have to find it again today. I watched it. That it is like, it's not all snow. There are areas that have freshwater lakes, and they showed a video of it. And they can swim in the waters. Yep.
That's pretty crazy. We hate that word, but it is.
Right? So, all of this military declass that they did in June of 2021, I believe, they declassed a whole bunch of DOD documents. And so that's how come people are learning all this stuff, right? So,
which I wonder why they're deciding to release that stuff now.
I think they're being forced to. Some of it. That's why I do. I truly do. So I kind of want to get to a serious note, and that is about the balloons, right? And that they are weapons. So I just want to play this clip from Mike Adams and I think, is it Maria Z?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And just because we all know that, there is going to be probably a power outage, an internet outage, a blackout. And I always was guided to believe that it was going to be an EMP. And so I'm just going to go ahead and play this little clip here on a serious note.
Final draw card has always been a global shutdown of all our infrastructure, all our resources, and it would come probably in the form of an EMP attack, which you just reported on.
In order to understand why these balloons are really EMP weapons platforms that are designed to take out the power grid, you've got to understand that China has been planning a land invasion of North America for many years. They intend to carry it out. And we know that China has been pre-staging equipment and personnel in the United States. They have infiltrated virtually every institution. They have staged police uniforms, fully automatic weapons, portable artillery units, mortars, ground-to-air missile systems that have been smuggled across the open southern border. This is all staged in the United States in preparation for an invasion by China. The current occupants of the White House are working with China. We are in a very hopeless situation. We saw with the balloon that our military, under the orders of this woke Pentagon, will not stop an invasion of our airspace with EMP weapons platforms. But here's how this is going to go, Maria. If we get to this point, I mean, it's not 100%, but they would use the EMPs to soften us up, to collapse our power grid, cause mass social chaos, total violation of the rule of law in every major city, just chaos, starvation, no water systems, nothing. And then after a few weeks of that, that's when China would invade.
Hi. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I want to say hi to everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, you guys. Okay. Ivy Fly. Hello. F. Ziaman. Good to see you. Heidi. Thanks for being here. That's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, you guys. Isn't this stuff mind-blowing?
It is mind-blowing.
Now, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jamie.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I know that God wins, and I know that we win, but I do believe we are in a war. And it's, a fluid war. So I do believe this is going to happen. And I just think everyone just needs to be prepared. And that's a message for me, myself, too. I need to get my shiznit together.
Well, no, listen, we are definitely in a war, 100%. That's not a question. It's happening now. What's gonna happen? How much worse is it gonna get? That's the question. That's what we're talking about. Talking about these satellunes. Is that what you call them?
Satelloons.
Pantaloon.
Sataloons.
It reminds me of Spanish, like pantalones. So like I always forget what you say. But it is, and this is the crazy thing too, is if you go into like Google and you search what happens to humans with EMPs, it says like there's no research, nothing's gonna happen. But if you go on like Free Spoke or DuckDuckGo, then it says, yeah, there's not a lot of research. However, it does affect us as humans. Obviously, we're not like metal, like we're not conductors. You know what I mean? However, it can affect us and our bodies. And man, we have to use a lot of discernment and a lot of like to not freak out. You know what I mean?
Right. This reminds me of something that I think is important that I talk about. Now, this goes to the Tesla energy and this EMP that they can do. And I watched this thing, and it's this documentary called The Time Machine. And so it was like postulated in here that, and this is patented. This is a patented thing, time machine. That if they use this, that we could mass travel through time.
Okay.
So I thought that was really interesting and mind-blowing. There's a lot of Tesla stuff coming up in what we're watching tonight.
There is a lot of Tesla stuff. I watched something about the wall that Trump built in between us and Mexico, and about how the wall parts themselves, that they are Tesla coils that they dug down deep. Did you see anything about that?
No, I heard, but I don't know about it. Tell, do share.
I know. I just saw like two. Yeah, I saw two videos. There were these two dudes that were down there, and they were talking about the frequency that comes off of the wall, which is the Tesla coil that you're talking about. And then these dudes also went to a pyramid somewhere, Egypt, maybe, I don't know. They went somewhere to a pyramid, and they were also talking about the frequencies and how the frequencies coming off of the big Tesla coils were the same as in the pyramids, and how it was like healing frequencies.
Yes. And also time travel is, yeah. So, and you know how, okay, and I'm going to have to show this documentary to you guys, because there's a Q drop that says that there's like two Donald Trump's 2 birthdays of his birthday. So that's like Q and Q plus. And they showed pictures of like, there's one that's back from the future or something like that. Yes. Mind-blowing stuff. Okay. That's out there, but it's interesting to think about, like, wow. Wonderful.
Well, no, it's very interesting to think about, because you look at the TV shows and the movies that are on nowadays, and they all have this quote unquote out there stuff that's going on. And as we know, they always tell us. So again, you got to use the discernment. But how can you use discernment on something that's so out there like this, to where people are talking about parallel universes and you know, all of that stuff? Because
right,
who knows?
It starts becoming kind of mind-blowing. But you know, I do think the internet's going to go out. And it was interesting, someone made a comment that they would be able to broadcast on the internet, but no one else would. And I was like,
Yeah.
How does that work out? Anyways, so, also Klaus Schwab has been warning about this comprehensive cyber attack. Pay insufficient evidence. What does he say? Attention. Pay insufficient attention to a comprehensive cyber attack. It's something.
Listen, definitely something is coming. We all know that. How huge it's going to be, how long it's going to be. Like, do we need the rice stocked up? Do we need all of those things? That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is.
Yes. I think we should. What would it hurt? My dog is. Rumor, come lay down. My dog is. I don't know what her problem is. Sorry. Roomy pies.
Rumor.
Or come lay down. Come on. Sorry, you guys. She's trying to get my attention. I don't know why. Just going to have to lay down. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to check the chat real quick. And my daughter actually is texting something to me. She's like, holy shit, there's so much shit is going on right now. And there is a lot of stuff. So my daughter sends me some great TikToks. And
she does send you good videos.
Oh, doesn't she? She sends me great. I was going to check the chat and got sidetracked because
Heidi's leaving to go work. She says God wins. As Ziaman says, people who haven't been paying attention are going to need straight jackets.
I guess Jody's
that's true.
He's funny. No doubt. Jody's going live at 9. We should be done. So yes, we should be done at 9. But I have another little clip about this cyber attack, which is because it's the EMP is what takes out the internet. So the EMP
takes out the internet. It takes out traffic lights. It takes out pacemakers. It takes
batteries,
out a lot of
doesn't
things.
It take out car batteries?
It takes out a ton of shit, dude. It takes out anything that computers, like you're saying, anything that helps our lives at that point, anything that's conductive. Pick something conductive, and yes, the answer is it will take it out.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play this next little clip, you guys, about the World Economic Forum.
Straight question, is it worth taking money out of the bank and holding it in cash? If you've just watched the updates on the World Economic Forum Davos meeting, you'd know that they're now heavily promoting that there's going to be a global cyber attack within the next 2 years. They're also saying, this is in Klaus Schwab's words, the head of the World Economic Forum, this is his own words, listen to this. The global cyber attacks will make the COVID-19 pandemic look like a small disturbance. So when you was locked in your homes, told you wasn't allowed to see your dying loved ones, was forced to take something that, guys, we all know was very experimental, and there's now 1,000 excess deaths a week. As of now in this country, today, 1,000 excess deaths a week in this country. And these guys are telling you that it's going to make that look like a small disturbance. Then combine that with how they're screaming out that there needs to be a central bank digital currency, CBDC. So you got something that's made the old small disturbance look exactly what he stated, a small disturbance. You've got a group of very powerful elites that want to usher in a central bank digital currency, and there's a global cyber attack. What would you do when you turn the power back on? You was in control of pulling the strings. Would you go back to the cash system that you've been trying so hard to get rid of? Or would you finally take the opportunity that's been provided to you via the global cyber attack to implement the new CBDC system? And we don't even want to get into what the FDIC have announced in a recent boardroom meeting. We will bail the banks in. You, me, the unsecured creditors. The next time there is a collapse like 2008, we're going to bail the banks in. There'll be no money. The banks won't get bailed out. There'll be no £85,000 insurance on accounts. And there could be the possibility that everyone sat there stacking all their cash in the bank, thinking that they're going to be safe. Watch the boardroom meeting and actually do some digging, and you might change your mind. Now, this is just my opinion from 1,000 hours plus of study of what I've seen is taking place. What do you think is taking place? Will there be a global cyber attack? Is this all bullshit and nonsense? Get it in the comments.
Yeah, there's not going to be bailouts this time, which is, in 2008 when they took our tax dollars and gave it to the banks. Those are bailouts. This time it's going to be bail-ins, which is where they take the customer's money from your account. And
which they're already doing.
Yeah.
In many countries.
Yes, they did do it. Yes, they did. And I have that FDIC video, collapse of the global banking cabal, somewhere about 3 or 4 videos down on my channel, that they flat out say that they don't think that if the American public, unless they have a professional opinion, a professional need to know, then they shouldn't tell us.
No, they're not telling anyone. I just saw a video yesterday someone posted on Telegram, and it was like Turkey. It was a lot of different countries of people at their banks, and there's gates in front of them, and they're trying to get to the ATM, and they're trying to go inside to get their money, and the banks have walls up and they're shutting them down. They're not allowing them to go to the ATM, but they see people inside, which are the rich people, and they're allowing them to get their money and go out like back doors and side doors and get into their cars to leave. Like, this legit is happening right now.
Is this in Turkey? Is that what
Turkey
you said?
was one of the countries, yeah.
Now, Turkey said basically is leaving NATO and is joining the BRICS nations, and that's why they got bombed. Plus,
the earthquake.
Well, earthquake, sorry. That's why they got the earthquake. And it was a weapon, it was manufactured, and they were like 10 kilometers down. So they're blowing up those domes and stuff. They're hitting those domes down there 10 kilometers down.
Yeah, well, they've been hitting domes all over the world because they're getting rid of the human trafficking, and they're getting the gold and the books of the Bible and whatever the heck they've stole from us throughout all of the years, and they're getting them out along with the humans. You know what I mean? The adults and the children's that they're doing. But yeah, they're literally coming down on Turkey too. They're coming down on everyone, man.
Now, I do believe that we will get Nasara, and I do believe that we got the gold back. I just don't. I think war is still, the Pentagon black hats versus the white hats, and that it's just still fluid. And so eventually I think we're going to get Nasara.
If we don't, then where the hell did all those planes, the 38 planes that Trump brought back with all the, where the heck did all that go? Yeah. And we hear about all of the people that they're arresting, right? The Rothschilds, Joe Biden, Hollywood people. They've told us that they're seizing their money, and it's incomprehensible, I think, of how much money they've seized, right? I can't personally imagine that much money, even $1 billion. How the heck do you spend that much? You can't. So what the hell else are they going to do with this money than put it back into society where they've already stolen it from us through all these years, right? And the med beds and making society a good place again. What else are they going to use it for besides that?
Well, I do believe God wins and that we will be getting the stuff. It's just that we don't know how bad it's going to get before it gets better. I don't know that. So I just like to keep my bases covered and make sure I'm paying attention to what's happening in the world, right?
Yeah, listen, it's not a fear thing, because honestly, if you are a Christian, if you do believe, then yeah, you're right. You do know in the end, God wins. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be scary. And just because you know that God's going to win, that you have peace.
Right.
But it's like dude, what do? We know all these horrible things are happening. We see all these things going on in the world all the time.
Well, I believe that they use Project Looking Glass and they have time travel and that they know what happens. And I believe that all the evidence is coming out for that. I mean, the more I learn, the more I believe the Q drops. The more I learn about the lies and all of the secret programs, this Montauk. Okay, so the time travels with this the Montauk project, and I did a couple videos on those way back. I don't know, like a year and a half or maybe 2 years. Anyways, so it's just mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
No, it definitely is. Corinne's in the chat now. She says there are so many people that have no idea what's going on.
I know it.
You're 100% correct.
Hey, Corinne, thanks for being here. Did you say Corinne?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being here. No, people do not know what's going on. And
no, people don't.
I mean, this is the absurdity of the world today. I went in to Fred Meyer's to get some groceries, and I buy non-alcoholic beer. And the gal, I'm at the self-checkout, and it beeps that I have to have my ID. And she looks like she's like early 20s. And she comes up and she's like, "Oh, I need your ID." I said, "I don't have my ID." I go, "But there's not even alcohol in this. There's not even alcohol in this." Yeah, right. I can't sell that. And I said, that is absurd. And that's insanity. What 5-year-old can tell I'm old enough. There's not even alcohol in it. You can't just push a button. I can't do that. They do not have independent thought, Jamie. It blows my mind.
No, hello. How many people are, I mean, I'm in Florida. Thankfully, I don't see any of this crap hardly at all. But I know like there's California, like pick a state. There's still people walking around with masks. There were people who followed the arrows at their grocery store telling you to go down the freaking aisle this way. Like, who the hell is that saving? Or, like, what is that helping? I have no idea what that, it literally is a control thing.
It's a control thing, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay. So I just have, I think I'm just about ready to close. It's like we're at 53 minutes. I have this last little, I really want everyone to watch this. The close.
The closer. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the first video I saw that my eyes just about popped out of my head and was like, holy Hannah, I think the earth is flat. And so I just want to share it with you guys. And I also want to thank all the digital soldiers that have put all this work together and done all the work. All you guys out there, just sharing it is amazing. I mean, I could never do this without the videos that they've already done, right?
Well, no, I mean, you and I say this all the time. Everyone has a part. Everyone is playing a different part, and no one can do it on their own. We all have our parts to play. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate everyone who isn't watching, who we are all in this together, right?
Yes. Yes. We are all in this together. And where we go one, we go all, and God wins. I'm going to just stick with those ones. Those are great. I do believe that. But anyways, Jamie, I love you. Thanks so much for being here and for being my co-host.
Love you.
Breaking the Matrix. I love that you share your knowledge because, I know that I have spent so much time learning. I mean, I don't even know. I can't even tell you how many hours I have spent since March of 2020. And I know people have been doing this so much longer than me. So God bless you guys. I was late waking up. Anyway.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you woke up yesterday, if you woke up 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. None of that matters. The point is you woke up and you're here and you're fighting the fight. You know what I mean? You're looking for the knowledge.
Yes. And then sharing it. And I just love people sharing their knowledge and discussing ideas and not just talking about what's happening or what this person did or that person did. I like talking about a little bit bigger ideas because it's just so much. When you know more of that, it makes this little bullshit not quite as important. Kind of like noise.
Yeah, no, 100% it does. And I love learning. That is my favorite thing. I love reading. I told you, I'll share with everyone. I never got in trouble as a kid except for one thing, and that would be my parents would tell me it was nighttime, and I would have a flashlight. This is like back in the 80s. I had a flashlight, and I would read books. I would pull the covers over my head, and I have a flashlight reading books, and that's how I got in trouble as a kid. I love knowledge. I love learning. I love chatting with you. I love hearing what everyone says because that's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we get smarter. That's what it's about.
Exactly. Absolutely. Okay, you guys, thanks so much for being here. I do really love you guys, and I appreciate everyone be here. And this is an amazing time to be alive. I know things seem a little quaky right now, but we got this. And I just want to close with this. We are awakening humanity one soul at a time for God and country. See you next week.
Hello, it's me. You know, indoctrination started while we were still naive, programming our beliefs. And that inertia is the reason we don't feel the earth spinning. Hello, can you hear me? Did you ever stop to question the confession of gravity as a theory? Funny thing, force alone can be explained with buoyancy and density. The sun is closer than what they've told us, not 90 million miles away. Hello from the inside. I'm here to tell you not to lie. And there never was a space probe, and those planets you left so wandering stars. Operation Fishbowl. Hello, how are you? Did you get a chance to join Flat Earth and Globe discussion group to discover all the truth? How the sun, the moon, the stars are all revolving around you. There's no more secret